It is the Cal
Mm.
Channel is back here, episode 2 of the day, getting into the AFC standings for the 2022 season. It's Connor, Braden, and Rye, the executive producer. So I think we should just get right into it.
Let's do it.
All right, starting off with my predictions. Let's start up in the AFC North. I got the Bengals going 12 and 5, the Ravens going 10 and 7, the Browns going 8 and 9, and the Steelers going 7 and 10. Then we go over to the AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs going 12 and 5, Los Angeles Chargers 10 and 7, Denver Broncos going 9 and 8, and the Las Vegas Raiders 8 and 9. Then in the East, the Bills 13 and 4, Miami Dolphins 9 and 8, New England Patriots significant drop off from last year, going 8 and 9, and the New York Jets 6 and 11. Down to the south, we got Braden's Colts going 11 and 6,
Woo! Let's go.
the Tennessee Titans going 9 and 8, Jacksonville Jaguars 6 and 11, and the poor Houston Texans 2 and 15.
Ooh. You know what? For the North, I I like that you have them at very decent records. What'd you have the Steelers at?
Steelers 7 and 10.
You think they'll have a losing season?
I do, and it's just because their corner play isn't very special at all.
Okay.
It's average at best.
Yeah, you're right.
Then they're going to have to try to fill some holes on the interior of their D line. And also, who knows what the quarterback situation is going to be like a couple weeks from now.
You're right. But
It's going to,
did you consider player development?
yeah, I mean,
Because
they,
that's what they're known for, right?
yeah, so they're going to have some good receivers. They got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool playing receiver for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much better Claypool will get, but last year Deontay Johnson was kind of their number one guy. Obviously, they lost Smith Schuster to the Chiefs. So then they also drafted George Pickens, who I really liked from Georgia in the second round. So they got some weapons. I just don't exactly know if they'll be able to put it all together right away. So, like you said, player development, but I'm also looking more towards not only player development, but team chemistry.
Who do you think could have gotten better in the offseason on defense? Do you think Bush could have gotten a whole lot better?
I'm going to go ahead and say probably not a ton.
Okay.
TJ Watt, he's always great.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably due for a little regression. Then them losing Stephon Tuitt a couple weeks ago, that hurts their interior defensive line. And something I didn't really touch on, their offensive line is kind of a mess. I mean, they
Indeed.
signed Mason Cole to a 3-year deal at center to replace the Pounceys. I mean,
Yeah.
that just doesn't make any sense.
Ugh.
Both the Pouncey brothers are Hall of Fame caliber, and then you replace him with Mason Cole on a 3-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that offensive line really scares me. I'm kind of concerned for anybody who's going to be playing back there because they might have to run for their life. Same thing with Najee Harris. It was kind of brought up going into the 2021 draft. So Najee Harris was kind of the favorite to go to Pittsburgh. But, the thing that a lot of analysts who are way more plugged in than any of us are, they said drafting a running back isn't going to fix your offensive line.
No. They've seen that with Saquon. Well, Saquon's tried his best. We've seen his highlights. He's pretty darn fast. But the offensive line needs work. They need to improve. They need to get better guys.
Team that I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit is the New England Patriots. I could actually see them maybe going down a cliff even a little bit more from where I have them right now. So I have them at 8 and 9. But right now it's kind of who's going to be calling plays. I mean, it's going to be
Is it Patricia?
some sort of combination. Yeah, it's going to be some sort of combination of Matt Patricia, who is a career defensive guy, and Joe Judge, who is a special teams coach. So New England's offense, that doesn't really seem like it's going to help, but developing Mac Jones. And they got some decent running backs, but their offense, they signed 2 big money tight ends, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Hunter Henry played fine. Then they don't really have like a superstar wide receiver. It's a combination of like Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne, guys like that. Not really somebody that you look at and think, oh, this is somebody who could definitely be the number one.
Maybe not, but they do get the job done. They're very reliable in catching the ball. They rarely ever drop them. Like Jacoby Myers, rarely ever drops the ball. I know he only have like 1 receiving touchdown in his entire career.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
something insane like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's caught a lot of balls. He's a solid receiver, and the Patriots are run game based anyway. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just get to the goal line in the red zone and pound it in.
So does anything stick out here from the standings that anybody else wants to talk about?
The Raiders.
The Raiders?
Yep.
Elephant in the room.
I think you guys are way higher on the Raiders than I am.
Well, yeah.
I think so.
Look what they've
How could you
done.
not be?
Look what they've done.
Okay, here's my issue with them. Regardless of any other moves that they made, okay, I could see them finishing second or third. I just don't see them taking the whole thing. Here's my issue. Derek Carr is still the 4th best quarterback in that division.
You're right.
It still could be like
How are those defenses going to hold up?
Who knows?
Yeah, at least they have a decent overall team. You know what I mean? Where the Broncos is just offensive heavy. The Chargers, I mean, they have. Well, I guess I can't say that anymore. They have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, and then they have Derwin James. So
they also got Kyle Van Noy, didn't they?
yeah.
Well, how are they going to move the ball? I mean, their offensive line isn't going to be able to protect for more than a couple seconds.
Their offense is kind of hard to explain. It's a lot of dink and dunk passes.
But is that really going to... Okay, so let me ask you this. You get into a dink and dunk contest with the Chiefs. Who's going to win that?
The Chiefs. But listen, who do the Chiefs have at wide receiver now?
Sky Moore.
It's going to be some sort of combination between Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, and there's one other guy in there. Who is it?
MVS.
Yes, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
I really wish I could. Oh gosh.
But okay, so here's the thing: if I don't see them winning a shootout with Kansas City, because the thing is Kansas City's going to be yucking the ball all over the yard. Las Vegas, if they could dink and dunk it, sure, that'd be fine.
And who do the Chiefs have on defense?
They don't have a ton of guys, but I mean,
can you name one?
Chris Jones, George.
Yeah. Well, that's the defensive tackle, but yeah, I guess
the Chiefs. Okay, so the Chiefs did a much better job of improving their defense, especially because they got all those draft picks for Tyreek Hill. But either way, so the Raiders. Okay, so my point was that they don't really have a good offensive line in Las Vegas. So Kansas City just beefed up on the defensive line. They also got Carlos Dunlap.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really going to need to be dink and dunk. And the thing is that's kind of the Chargers game a little bit. The Chargers can dink and dunk it a little bit.
Right.
So I could see Las Vegas. My point is Las Vegas is going to get into they're going to have a better chance of winning a shootout with the Chargers or the Broncos more than they would with Kansas City.
You're right. I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs are not going to be the same this year.
They definitely are not.
I think it's gonna be like the Super Bowl game, where Patrick is running around, but no one can catch the freaking ball. No one's gonna block for him.
Could be.
It's just gonna be an interesting season. I wanted to touch base on the Dolphins. Do you think the Pats could find a way to beat the Dolphins, with the reputation being like almost 100-0?
I feel like they're going to be able to split. Like right now, if I was to pick the schedule, I'd have them splitting. So obviously New England winning in New England and then Miami winning at home.
Mm-hmm.
But New England, I don't think has the firepower to keep up with a lot of the teams that they're going to be playing.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. Probably a little old classic, old school football. So,
All right, should I quickly rattle off the seeds then?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the number 1 seed in the AFC, the 13-4 Buffalo Bills. Number 2, the 12-5 Kansas City Chiefs. At number 3, the 12-5 Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the reason why, even though they're tied, I have the Chiefs above them is because their matchup this year will be played in Kansas City. I got Kansas City winning that game.
Okay.
And then the 4th division winner will be the Colts at 11-6. And then the 3 wildcard teams. So number 5, the Ravens at 10-7. Number 6, the Chargers at 10-7. And at number 7, the Titans at 9-8.
I really don't like the Titans.
We know.
They're like the gum on my shoe, dude. Just get off. Get away from me.
They could still miss the playoffs potentially. So the team that they'd be beating out is they're tied. So I have them tied with Miami and Denver. So it'd come down to a 3-way tie.
I see Denver making the playoffs before the Titans.
It's so weird because Tennessee and Denver are such different teams. I don't know who would win in a matchup.
I think the offense would just blow it out of the park. I don't even think there's any competition. Just destroy that defense.
Do those two play this year?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yes, I think.
Because if they end up playing each other, that's gonna tell us what we need to know.
Oh, whoops. We're not sponsored by SeatGeek, but whatever. Yes. And
so the game is a home game for the Titans.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the Titans will win that game. I'm just going to say. All right, Braden, should we get to your standings?
Yes. Let's get to my standings.
It's probably going to be all over the map compared to mine.
I wouldn't say that, but let's start off with the East. The Bills, I got number 1. Dolphins, I got at number 2. Pats 3, and the Jets are at 4. Basically the same as yours, if I'm not correct or right.
Did you say Dolphins at 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Okay. I am kind of skeptical on that. I know I questioned you about it, but I would take the Dolphins getting number 2. In the North, I have the Ravens at 1. Then I have the Steelers at 2. I have the Bengals at 3 and the Browns at 4. I think the loss of Deshaun and having a backup playing your entire season is just going to blow it all away, especially in the Browns organization. No matter how good that run game is, you're going to have to pass the ball at some point. And the South, I got I got the Colts. I think the Texans will do good this year. I think they go number 2.
No way.
Then I got the Jags at 3.
What is this?
And then the Titans at 4, just because they suck.
This Titans slander needs to stop.
It's
Oh my gosh.
it's libel on this piece of paper, but yes, it is slander as well. Anyway, in the West, I got the Raiders at 1. I think they take it all.
Yeah.
At 2, I got the Chiefs. At 3, I got the Chargers, and then 4, I got the Broncos.
Wow. So half the divisions were all over compared to mine.
Yes,
Okay.
basically. Ask me my thoughts.
Okay, Texans, explain yourself right now.
I think Davis Mills will pop off.
You think they're gonna finish second in the division over Jacksonville?
Yes, I think they will destroy. They it might be like, oh my gosh, I think the Colts are gonna beat everybody in their conference.
But the Texans, okay, so the Texans are a defensive team. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
The Jaguars are an offensive team.
Okay.
Good offenses beat good defenses.
well that's all right.
I think the Jaguars have a much better chance of finishing second in that division.
Yeah, I'd say so
Do you
too.
think the Doug Pearson role is gonna do a lot?
I think he'll play a major role in the development of Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Also, they get ETN back, and then they add some other pieces offensively.
Yeah, and
Trayvon Walker on defense.
James Robinson still cooking. He's still a good back, no matter what anyone says. I don't think the Titans are a good team. I don't know how they're going to do good. I don't see anything on their team that shows promise for them. They literally got rid of a top 10 receiver.
Maybe the egg will be on my face in 3 months.
Yeah.
But I just could never see the Titans slipping down to 4th. So I could see them finishing 3rd. I could see Jacksonville pop up and get second in the division.
The Bengals went to the Super Bowl.
I know, but I can't. Okay.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Disclaimer here: I had the Bengals 5-11 last year. So
Can we talk about Braden's prediction for the Bengals too? What did you have him at 3rd place?
Yeah, I have them at 3rd.
I could see the hangover be real in Cincinnati. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I do see it.
I see it hard for Steelers to take that 2nd place spot though over Cincinnati.
Maybe, but even Connor and his standings, the records were all pretty good. They're all pretty high.
Yeah.
And the only
for every
thing,
team.
okay, so if you take the Raiders and you put them in the NFC or in the AFC East, how many games do they win?
Raiders in the AFC East, probably 2.
2.
Yeah, the Jets, and I think they kicked the shot of the Dolphins.
Well, if I put the Raiders in the AFC East, this doesn't make any sense. You guys are so high on the Raiders, and then I say put them in the East, and you say they win 2 games. Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay. So if they play him twice, is that what you're saying? If they play him twice a year,
yeah.
If they play in the East, or if they play each team in the East twice a year,
they probably split with the Bills. Probably split with Miami. They probably split with all the teams. I don't know. That one's kind of. I guess we'd have to
I'd say
if
the Raiders play the Bills later in the season, they play the Bills at home. No. If the Bills played the Raiders at home later in the season, like it's snowing outside, I think the Raiders win because the Bills play horrible in the snow. They play horrible football.
So theoretically, here, let's just say we get rid of the Jets in the AFC East because
so
they're the worst team. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Raiders win 12 games.
Probably. But it's same. I could see them doing the same thing on the West.
In the
I know-
South, how many games do they win in the South?
Oh,
Like
I think they
13?
win all. Yeah, pretty much all of them, almost.
Okay,
Besides the Colts, or actually no, I think they could beat the Colts. They proved it last year.
they're a pretty solid team. So basically, my whole point of that going around and round is like if you look at the AFC North and you look at the AFC West, these teams are just going to punch each other in the mouth, and eventually one of them's going to have to fall.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Browns have already shown to that after the trade.
Yeah,
But even with Baker, I mean, how much help are you getting? How much firepower in the air are you getting? Probably not a whole lot. You're probably getting you might get the same firepower with Baker Mayfield at your quarterback position you might get the same amount of firepower in the air with Baker Mayfield as like what was it, Jacoby Brissett. Riley, I got a couple questions for Riley.
Oh no.
What do you think about the Steelers?
I'd say if there was any season for them to go under 500, this would be the season
Why?
because it just doesn't add up. Rookie quarterback, he probably won't start, but Trubisky looks better, but it just looks awful for them.
Okay. What about the defensive side?
I don't know too much about it.
I mean, okay,
It
their
was
DBs are
pretty
horrible other than
average.
Minka, right?
It was pretty average last year, so I can't imagine it got much better.
Okay, but they're not good. Connor
Yeah.
even said that. Connor even said that the defensive backs are pretty much non-existent on that team.
they're
Yeah.
average at best. It'd be like comparable to what the Vikings did last year with their secondary.
Okay, so dog crap. Anyway, I'm surprised that they didn't make any moves this offseason. There's Stephon Gilmore up there. There was Tyrann Mathieu out there. Like, adding both of those guys would have made your team just wow. So it makes me think maybe they just don't believe this year's the year. So
I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
maybe they just accepted that they're going
Just
to be
want a year
rebuilding,
off.
mhm,
especially since they drafted Kenny Pickett. It like
Mhm.
wouldn't make sense for them to be like, oh, let's go all in. No,
mhm. All right. I got one more question for both of you. OBJ, what's he gonna do? Where do you think he's gonna go? What's gonna
Rams.
happen to him?
Rams.
Rams?
Rams.
Yeah.
Okay. I got him going the
hometown
Colts.
discount.
I got him going the Colts. Just kidding. No, he would
Little
never.
bias.
Chris Ballard would never pay that much.
The Colts are going 14-3. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to have 1,200 yards even after the torn ACL.
After they win the Super Bowl, they'll be trading for Tom Brady next year.
Oh my gosh, bright future for the Colts.
Mm-hmm. Hey, just wait. Y'all be sitting on the toilet while I'm standing in front of the TV watching them in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so the three of us, we are all going to go to that Vikings Colts game this year, right?
Oh yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to.
Yep. We'll be
Okay.
there. Oh, we should just buy the tickets now.
Yeah.
I'll
We
buy
still-
them.
We still don't know what day of the week it's going to be played, but that doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah, it's still not determined, is it?
No. Anyways, you guys can watch us yell at each other again some other time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, episode 2 of the day done.
Woo!
Connor, Braden, Rye. See you all later.
Adios.